We have some breaking news to go over, folks. The Jays have just made a shocking move as it pertains to one of their former top prospects and still a top 15 prospect in their system. We're going to break down exactly what this move is as it came out of nowhere. We also have a few other Jays updates to go over today. A ton of new news has just dropped here. I don't want to stay tuned until the end of the video, but before we get into it all, quick reminder to hit that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with daily Jays content, multiple videos a day here as we approach the postseason. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, folks. Wasn't expecting to make this video just a couple hours ago. I made a post-game video and we were all excited about the big Jays win. And obviously I'll cover that a little bit in this video in case you missed the video earlier. Folks, the Jays out of nowhere made a very surprising move to me, and not surprising in the sense that, I didn't really see it coming. Not surprising in the sense of like, I think it's a bad move because it's the correct move, but boy, did this come out of nowhere. And folks, Alek Manoah was reinstated from the 60-day IL, an option to AAA, and I'll dive into why they're doing that now. And folks, infielder Orelvis Martinez has been DFA'd. He is gone. Former top prospect, current number 12 prospect in the Jays system. Ladies and gentlemen, this is surprising to me. Now, we knew the deadline for, Alek Manoah having to, get actually added to the roster because they used the extension, I think a couple times, maybe 3 times, the 10-day extension from Tommy John, all these different things to circumvent the fact that they had to make a, roster spot to make room on the 40-man roster. Folks, they decided to go with Orelvis Martinez, the guy who's getting DFA'd. Now, I think the move is fine. Like, this is obviously, Orelvis has been horrible, but what a fall from grace. I mean, this is a guy who played, a couple games there last year, obviously got suspended for PEDs. He was at one point viewed as the potential future third baseman for this Toronto Blue Jays team. I covered it on the channel and how he had, a really good spring there last year, I think it was. I mean, crazy to see. You could see here, crazy how far Orelvis's prospect stock had fallen in the last year. Plus, he would have been out of options in 2026. And that's something I'll dive into the reason why. And again, it's shocking in the sense of it came out of nowhere. No one was talking about Orelvis being DFA'd, but no one was also talking about how bad he has been this year, which I'll dive into. But the Jays, prospect system is completely overhauled now. But man, oh man, to just hear such a, a name we've been discussing for years, and that's part of the reason why they DFA'd him. It is, quite frankly, pretty wild. And obviously, I'm of the mindset, if you're not playing well, obviously, he had a bunch of chances. The PED thing was kind of the nail in the coffin at the time. We were hoping he was going to be able to come back, maybe for the last few games last year, which he did a little bit. But they had to make room for Alek Manoah on the 40-man because, again, he was on the IL. They had some, rule they circumvented. His rehab stint was nearly over, so they decided to get ahead of it a little bit and DFA Orelvis Martinez. Now, again, if you're unfamiliar with Orelvis Martinez, he was a top prospect for years, and especially in 2021 when he took Dunedin by storm, almost 1,000 OPS in 71 games, got promoted to A+ there in 2021, still remained decent. Even 2023, as recently as then, he had a really good stint. And I was covering it on the channel. Like, he started off ice cold and then went on an absolute tear. And ultimately, when he was about to sniff the big leagues, and he did sniff the big leagues, he went 1 for 3. I remember very clearly, 1 for 3, and then got, suspended for PEDs like the day after. We had that video. If you want to, watch a throwback video, we have that on the channel still if you Google Orelvis Martinez. But regardless, rather I have that on the channel. His season this year, he's batting 176 with a 636 OPS with 13 home runs in 99 games. Horrible numbers. And for a guy who struggled last year as well, kind of chalked it up to, the PEDs, all these different things. He was not great last year. It wasn't bad though. 74 games and 869 OPS. Like, he was really good for a while, and then he struggled after the PED suspension. And clearly, whether that played a toll mentally, whether he's just not, he always had, issues with swing and miss with defense. He was going to be a horrible defender. He was going to be a pretty bad contact guy, but someone who he has great power, and that's always been what this team needed. You look at his ETA, it was 2025. You want to know why? Because of the fact that he is out of options now, and the Jays would have had to, DFA him maybe in 2026 or, contract, all these different things. He's out of options, right? And they weren't going to extend him and add him to, give him a contract. He's been horrible. And they have too many other prospects. That's why I wanted to bring this up. 12th ranked prospect now, but you have guys like Jojo Parker, Arjun Namala, Yohendrick Panago, Victor Arias, RJ Shrek, who's been really good this year, Jay Cook, like all these different prospects that are ahead of the game. Orelvis, and of course, Orelvis was a little bit blocked by guys like Alan Roden, Joey Loperfido, and obviously Loperfido's not an infielder and Alan Roden's not an infielder, but the point is, in the prospect system, they were ahead of him. the end of the day, folks, it is over on that front, and it's going to be a wild. I'm curious to see what you guys think about this because he was a top prospect, and you can look at his grades again. They go from 20 to 80. I mean, they signed him back in 2018. At one point, was the Jays number 2, 3? I don't know. I don't remember exactly if he was number 1 prospect, but he was up there like in the conversation, and it's crazy to see how far Orelvis Martinez has fallen off. So it's going to be wild there. Let me know down below what your thoughts are. Pretty, I guess unfortunate might be the word. I mean, it had to be done, but quite frankly, shocking. I didn't expect them to actually do this with you rarely see teams DFA their ranked 12th prospect, but you also rarely see prospects that are, top 12, top 15. They're about to be out of options. Folks, let's dive into some other things now. And Kevin Gausman spoke out following the game today. It's rare I have 2 videos in the span of 2 hours after a win, but it's a special day for you. Also, pretty emotional, felt the love on the standing ovation he received from the Rogers Center crowd when he came out for the 9th inning on getting doused with Gatorade during his on-field interview. It's the best and worst feeling. And folks, John Schneider came out after the game and said that he would have took Gausman out if he didn't get Carlos Correa. Luckily, that didn't happen because he did get Carlos Correa. That would have been a disastrous, I think, not mess up by, Schneider. He obviously wants to play the long game here, and Kevin Gausman's pitches, were up to like 100 at that point by the time he finished the game. It's a what if. It doesn't matter because he got out of it. I think the crowd would have booed their butts off if Gausman got pulled with 2 outs in the 9th. Regardless, seeing the love from the fans, shout out to everyone who's been going to the game. Shout out to all you guys, of course. This has been a special year, and Gausman feels the love. The entire interview, I watched the whole thing, was basically just praising the fan base, praising they're in it right away. And we all know how important that game is, right? Or was, I guess, and how important every game is at this point of the season. And you have to continue to push and win these games. And Kevin Gausman says he feels really healthy and all these different things. And it was a pretty big win because at this point now, at least as the time of recording, the Yankees are up 5-1 on the Detroit Tigers. So bearing a comeback by the Tigers, you remain, 3 games up on the Yankees, which is really 4 games, which is fine. You would like to gain another game there, but you still technically get a little bit of a bonus because the Tigers are competing 1-2 with you in the AL. So, works for the ALDS a little bit, but really good there. And again, he's logged at least 7 innings in 5 of his last 7 starts. So he's the postseason guy. Let me know down below your order, 1, 2, 3 of your postseason starters. Mine's Gausman, Bieber, Scherzer. Some people have Bieber, Gausman, Scherzer, depending on where Scherzer is, where his back is. And it's going to be interesting on that front. One other thing I do want to bring up here before I wrap up, it's going to be interesting to see how Alek Manoah, now that he's back, actually does against AAA batters, and also, of course, does against bigger, I think he was facing AAA batters anyway, but against, with a bigger role next year. There's a chance he factors into the rotation, depending if Chris Bassett returns. Don't think he will. But ladies and gentlemen, the 2-hit, complete game shutout happened. Some crazy moves after. It's going to be a crazy ride, and you guys are sticking with me every step of the way. Let me know if you guys expected Orelvis Martinez to be DFA'd. Not shocking that, I don't think it's a bad move, but shocking in the sense of came out of nowhere, former top prospect. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later. You guys are beasts.